The US dollar is about to nosedive in a way that we have never seen before. And in October, something big is about to happen, and Russia and China are cracking their fingers right now because the global world order is being restructured right before our eyes. A nail in the US dollar coffin. So what happens in October? I'll get there in a minute with some pretty stunning news that we've been predicting here on this show for at least the last 2 years. I take no joy in this, by the way, but Biden's sheep are about to be slaughtered. The liberals who say that everything is fine in the economy, the people that, watch CNN or MSNBC. Not you guys, of course. The preppers who watch my show, you guys have been prepping, and of course they make fun of you for prepping. So our world's coming to an end. Help us, Jesus! The country ain't the country I was raised in. No, it's better. It's stronger. I've been warning you about this for 2 years, that this is coming. And I see it in the comments thread. I read every comment you guys post there. You guys have been taking action. You're already preparing your families. So you and I are going to come out far ahead on this, thank goodness. But let's get back to the big news here. In the next few months, everything changes for the US dollar. That's not me saying this. This is coming from every economist that I trust. And there's only a handful of them that I do. It's coming from the very same people that accurately predicted the tsunami that hit in 2008. Congressman Ron Paul, who ran for president of the United States, no one would listen to him. Ron Paul warned us all that the 2008 collapse was coming. He warned us in 2003. They called him nuts. He was right, of course. But back in 2008, he also gave us another huge warning that no one paid attention to. And it's now coming true. This is Ron Paul in 2008. Watch.
And to me, the more amazing thing right now is not only has the financial system collapsed, which is very, very bad and very dangerous, I believe that what we're moving toward now is the collapse of the dollar. And the collapse of a dollar, because it's the international reserve currency, I think is going to be much worse than what we have already witnessed.
Yeah. Ron Paul warning all of us that a US dollar collapse is inevitable. And now we have breaking news that we just learned about this weekend from Russia and China. We now know, without a shadow of a doubt, that the Brics nations are officially ending their ties to the United States dollar as a reserve currency. According to multiple sources close to the Brics planners, it will officially happen in October at their summit meeting, where they will make that declaration. Now, they could do a soft declaration ahead of time, we don't know, but according to sources close to Brics, they will also announce their new currency at the time. Just let that sink in for a moment, guys. Brazil, Russia, China, India, South Africa, and dozens of other countries which are now joining Brics will officially end settling transactions in US dollars, and instead use a new commodities-backed currency. And according to the news this weekend, Brics will, quote, sway other countries to ditch the US dollar by uplifting local currencies for trade, as well as developing a new currency system that would rival the US dollar. Experts, of course, say that the US dollar is less attractive now that the US is facing rising inflation, has unrelenting debt on its hands. Russia says that US is unloading its inflation on other countries, holding their dollars. Just look at Japan, which is collapsing.
Вот-вот обрушится доллар. Если доллар обрушится, что произойдет? У них же на бумажке вся экономика. Надо, напечатали доллары. Говорят, если много денег, инфляция. Плевать, инфляция на нас ложится. Сейчас ни доллары, ни евро никому не нужны. И это уже не только в Беларуси и России. Это во многих странах.
And then this weekend we have yet another country announcing it wants away from the US dollar. The Maldives wants to settle transactions in Brics currency. So just since 2007, federal debt held by the public has surged from $4.6 trillion to an astonishing $27 trillion. Overall government debt is now surpassed $34 trillion. Just look at this chart that Game of Trades put together to paint a picture. In over 200 years of history, we saw this and then boom. Guys, there are so many bad signs right now for Biden's sheep that I can't even fit them all into this video. But here are two more little data points for you. China and other Brics nations saw this coming years ago, so they started dumping U.S. treasuries, unlike Japan. U.S. allies, though, like Japan, didn't do that. And now they're facing disaster because it's basically gotten too close to the U.S. dollar. It touched the sun and it got burned. Now Japan's economy is collapsing. They have no young people. No one is having babies in Japan. The same thing is happening in the United States thanks to Biden's inflation and money printing. America's fertility rate plummeted to its lowest level in a century just this past year. That means the government and the Fed have to keep printing money to counter that demographic cliff that's coming. It's about to get a whole lot worse. But back to Japan for a moment. Japan is the largest holder of U.S. debt. They were thinking of selling